Okay, I'm back, and today I want to talk about the tone of Shawn Lane. So, Shawn Lane is one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and recently somebody asked me to do a tutorial about his tone. So, I decided to do it. I know it's a little bit late, but better late than never, right? Anyway, I was a little bit nervous about doing this because he's a kind of idiosyncratic player and lots of tone is in his hand, and also there's not a lot of information about his tone. It's not like you can go someplace and just look it up, his exact settings. Well, maybe you can, but I don't know where it is. So I just try to do it myself, and although I don't think I got it exactly, hopefully this will help you, and hopefully this will get you close, and you can do the rest by ear for your gear or whatever you think his tone should sound like. So let's take a look at it. Here I have S gear open, which I always use. I have it set to the Duke on clean. So let's hear how this clean sound sounds. So there you go. Uh, Unfortunately, it's not perfect, but I think this is pretty close. At least it sounds like it to me. So let me take all the effects off first so you can hear it. If you look here, the Duke, I have a clean setting on, I have the gain pretty low, I have the bass fairly low, mids fairly low, and I have the treble up and the presence in the middle, and the bright switch on. So basically, I try to get a bright Fender sound with a like bell-like tone. That's what I wanted. I used the California Combo, which is I think Electro Voice S12s or something. I'm not sure exactly. EV12s. It's the ones they use usually in Mesa Boogie amplifiers, the Mark amplifiers. They're kind of flat speakers, so I decided to use that. I used a ribbon mic, like a Royer 121 Impulse. You can see here it's 1 inch, I guess on axis, 1 inch from the grill, and the distance is 3. Let me see if I can get a better shot of this. There you go. You can see it there. And here, uh, there you go. And that's the Shure SM57. So I'm basically blending a ribbon mic with the dynamic mic. I have the ribbon up a little bit higher than dynamic. I basically want kind of like a flatter sound. I don't want to really like ping ping ping, that type of sound going on with every pick attack. Next, I'll show you the. Actually, before I do that, I'll let you just hear what it sounds like. Nothing to write home about, but you can hear there's not lots of bass to that sound. Let's move on to the chorus. You can look at the settings here. You can look at them, so it's probably better than me blabbing on about every single setting there. You can see what I did basically, but this just kind of gives it some movement and a little bit of air. Let me turn it on. So there you go. You can kind of hear the difference. You can hear a little bit of the movement in some of the stereo. Let me fix my tuning though. I'm a little bit out of tune. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. So let's keep going through there. Now we go to the one of the most important parts is the delay. So I have a delay of 332 milliseconds. I think this can vary anywhere between about 300 milliseconds to 475 milliseconds. Kind of do what you want. Have the feedback. You can see 2.8, mix 3.5, tone. I have the tone down because if you have the tone up too high, it really kind of gets in the way. You hear like a discrete repeat of it, which is not really what you want. You want it kind of in the background. So by turning the tone down, that helps. I have this is a pan width. In this case, it's the width because it's a stereo delay, so it gives you that width to your sound, which Shawn usually has. That's it. So let's turn that on and hear it. Okay, so we're almost there. I think that's most of it. Now, only thing left is the reverb. So here I have the reverb up pretty high, but this is kind of a small room, so I'll let you hear it without. Now with. So as you can hear, that kind of gave it a little bit of air and things. So I think that helps, but you be the judge. And with everything here, everybody has a different guitar and everybody has different tastes. So adjust these things to your own taste. If you think there's too much delay, turn the delay down. If you think there's too much reverb, turn that off. Adjust the chorus, whatever you want. Now let's move on to the distorted sound. Let me turn the chorus off. I'll start this the same way as before. I'll turn all the effects off so you can just hear the raw sound. So there you heard it. Again, doesn't sound so great just like that. You can see here all the settings I used. I think Shawn Lane does use quite a bit of gain. So I think Shawn Lane's tone and Eric Johnson's tone are almost the same. I think the only difference is Shawn Lane probably uses more gain and he uses humbuckers more often. So he has a little bit of a beefier tone. So I use the bright contour on here to get rid of some of the high end. And you see here I pumped the bass up a lot. I believe Shawn Lane for powers of 10 used amp like a Gajinka amp. I don't know the name. I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's a boutique amp, and I believe it's like a modded Marshall. But it sounds like it's much more bassy than a normal Marshall, at least to me. So that's why I chose these settings with the treble down, bass up, etc. So that's how it sounds. I'm using the same impulse responses, the same cabinets. And so let's go to the delay, add that in. Oh, I was also using the neck pickup there. I think the neck sounds better for the clean sound, but for the distorted sound, the neck or the bridge sounds good. So now I'll move to the bridge. So there we go. And now, last but not least, is the reverb. Hopefully that helped. There's not so much to this tone. There's always other things you can do. It's really difficult to say what Shawn Lane used because he used so many different types of gear and equipment. I think one of the main ones was that Gajinka amp, and he used Boss delays. I think the second version of the Boss digital delay he used. He also used, I think, a Boss chorus, and at one point he was using a different amps. I think it's like a Holmes amp, which is like a solid state amp, and he used a Westbury tube driver preamp. But unfortunately, in the digital realm, those don't exist. They haven't done any models of any of those things, unfortunately. And even in the real world, those things are very difficult to come by. So you might have a problem getting those. But if you watch Shawn through the years, you'll see he used like Charvel guitars, he used Yamaha guitars, he used VGA guitars, he used, almost everything, almost any type of guitar there was, he used it. And same thing with amps. I've seen him playing through Marshalls, Fenders, you name it, solid state tube. And he used other types of delays too. I think he's using a Line 6 delay modeler for a while also. So he used all sorts of stuff, and he always got great tone. So hopefully this will help you get a great tone also. I know this isn't perfect, but hopefully it helped you. If you have any improvements you'd like to suggest, please let me know, and maybe I'll make another video and correct them. Or you can just make your own video and tell me about it, because I'd like to know if you can do this better than I can. Until next time, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and see you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please remember to thumbs it up, check out some of my other videos below, and don't forget, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.